All right. So everybody knows here. Let me just bring it up in Discord because this is one of those things where, um, not that I personally know the guy, but we talk back and forth because you know I saw him on a stream recently where I saw him on the stream recently where I had recently saw him on the stream where he was talking with Vosh. And if you don't know what this actual point was, this particular point actually stated, this is actually just a problem. I want to say thank you to all of my Patreon supporters who help support the channel. Also, I want to say thank you to my Twitch subscribers. Help the channel out by donating and go to patreon.com. Thank you. So here's the tweet. Let's go. Now, I talked about this in a private Discord a while back, but I'll say it here too. And this is Rico Rants. If a white person made a video calling out a black person on something while referring to them as codes, every one of these black folks, many black progressive and many white ones would call them racist. This is a problem. Now, mind you, this idiot went back and redid the picture, and everyone's like, well, that's not what the picture is. Like, no, this was the picture is. And oddly enough, our man Shark, when he covered the allegations against them, actually said this.
Now, I just don't get how he's getting the idea that I critiqued his video. In my video, I literally just said that I think that I want more black people to be in the space and I want more black people to do things that I'm doing as well. And
mind you, this is a message that I actually feel, even if I disagree with them politically, but let's go.
I think that these people make good content. I just think that we get pigeonholed into talking about black issues when we don't necessarily always want to. And people compartmentalize normal creators and learning creators, and they just take a detour at, like I said, Negro land to go hear what like black people, women, trans people, minorities, all these types of people want to say, gay people, queer people, you know, anything along these lines. They stop by to see what we have to say, but we're not the destination. We're just here to be the black voice, so they can say that, oh, I have like a black creator who does black things and I listen to them, and they're my learning creators, not my fun creators, not my normal creators. They're not in the normal community. They're different. They're otherized. They're not just a creator. They're an insert identity creator. That's what I was saying in the video, I guess.
So this makes a good point, and keep that in mind. Keep that in mind while we talk about this ignorant fool.
Hasanabi reacting to an FD video will be on your home feed, but FD's video will not be on your home feed. Why? Why? Because Hasanabi is familiar to you. Not only because, like, literally he's bigger, but because Hasanabi ski colored.
This motherfucker says somebody who's been on the internet for more than a decade now is popular because his skin color, even though he's Turkish, but he's white, but he's Turkish, but he's white, but he's Turkish. These people in Cornbreadtube, all they see is race. I swear to God, and this is just the intro. It gets worse. Now, another reason, we'll get to that. I watched this video and I just had to react. But let's go.
It's a foreign man in a foreign land.
And you are seeking to expel District 86's representation from this house in a country that was built on a protest.
Now, what does this have to do with anything about the point about if somebody is black, they get hurt? This is quite literally has nothing to do with. And what is he doing? He's watching, responding to somebody else's content. Yes, this is from the leftist mafia that he's responding to. But let's go.
In a country that was built on a protest.
And he's trying to look smug for no reason why. I guess I'm hiding him. Let's go.
You who celebrate July 4th, 1776, pop fireworks and eat hot dogs. You say to protest is wrong because you spoke out of turn, because you spoke up for people who are marginalized. You spoke up for children who won't ever be able to speak again. You spoke up for parents who don't want to live in fear. You spoke up for Larry Thorne, who was murdered by gun violence. You spoke up for people that we don't want to.
Are you just going to say something, or are you just going to watch the content? Oh, no, he was on there. I correct myself. He was on it.
Care about.
So, yeah.
In a country built on people who speak out of turn, who spoke out of turn, who fought out of turn.
Wait. I'm sorry. Wait.
I come from a long line.
Wait. Is he watching a video that he was watching with them? He's watching a video where he was actually in the video. Okay. Let's go.
People who have resisted.
When we look back at what happened with Justin, well, both Justins in this case, let's not forget that anytime, like when you see political talent like Justin's, excellent oration like Justin's,
Oh, so he plays up the accent.
how he's speaking the truth and speaking to power, these people are obviously and historically suppressed. They're always co-opted. They're always attacked. And sometimes even worse. Let's not forget that any black movement, big black leaders, especially those that are progressive, have always been co-opted or taken up. I mean, even like Bob Marley, a person with a guitar making...
It's funny that he says this shit, right? But when you see the black movements that starts to do this whole separatist shit or just listen to black people shit, like, you know, Black Hammer or some of the iteration of the Black Panthers after Fred Hampton died, you see when they start just focusing on black issues instead of building a bridge against the people, not against, but with people that may be in the same socioeconomic classes, but they say, no, we're just going to stick with black people. They kind of get marginalized. They kind of get pushed to the sides. But let's go.
Extremely provocative songs and progressive songs. He was very much destabilized. Like, government entities try to prevent uprisings in these cases. Uprisings, by that meaning revolutions for progressive thought. Fred Hampton is an excellent example. Herschel Walker and them, those people will very much be fine. They will be upheld. In fact, they will be used as puppets to bolster particular arguments by the racist right. Like, the left has like a messaging problem. We don't package our ideas in ways that catchy or really show like the value up front. We don't lead.
No, you don't. Because what you do, especially people like you try to criticize other leftists because they said something that offended you and you want to make it something different. Now, this isn't a defense of insert your favorite political streamer here. This is a critique of how so many of these other people, the first thing they go to, first thing the Cornbreadtube, and I can actually, just go through the montage. Oh, this white creator here, this white, like literally, this was this man's response. And we're going to come back to this video. This was this man's response about Rico talking about him. This is what's his response. Where is it at? Let me go back to Discord because it's here in Discord. Let's go. This was this man's response.
Let's see what's going on the Muskian hellscape known as Twitter. Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Now, mind you, he pulled up the whole thing. The whole thing that I read to you guys. The whole thing that I read to you guys. Rico Rents or Derico L. Baker, his name on Twitter. Now, our favorite races on the channel, FD Signifier. And, yeah. So, the chalks are talking about voodoo. Now, mind you, this whole thing is right here. Mind you, this whole thing is right here. But this is his response.
Damn, son, where'd you find this? Raccoon rants?
Had to throw in that raccoon joke, huh? And look, this is why I don't jive with many of the non-white creators. They're not held to the same standards as white counterparts. It's why their content is filled with casually demeaning people in ways white people couldn't vaguely do. This actually brings this up. But he had to throw in the raccoon joke, right? Right?
All right, Mr. One of
The trash panda joke, he had to throw that in.
the good ones. You're lucky I ain't in the mood.
Wait. What did he call him? What did he call him?
Mr. One of the good ones.
Wait.
All right, Mr. One of the good ones.
Mr. One of the good ones. Damn, throwing around those racial terms.
You're lucky I ain't in the mood for no black on black crime, right? I normally don't do this, however. But go on ahead, break him off with a real preview of the remix.
Wash bad, oh very, very bad. Wash.
Now, instead of addressing his points, he started making videos targeting flashing Catholics.
It's a big tune, eh?
Very, very
Turn this shit up.
Just say Nick. The LGBT community is cancerous as fuck.
Wow. Doing the old racist clips. Mind you, that's somebody who every stream jokes about how he likes to suck horse cock, or it's a joke about a horse cock. But yeah, he's being problematic.
These people are less than human to me.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's how he responded. That's how this man responded to accurate criticism about some of the racist shit that these people put out. But let's go back to the video. Let's go.
Lead with the value, we kind of bury the lead in these cases. The right is extremely good at messaging. Like when you think of like Rush Limbaugh in his prime, like he was in his bag with his bigotry. That dude like knew what he was doing as far as packaging rhetoric. They know how to do it. They're extremely good.
And you're just doing it accidentally. You're just doing your bigotry accidentally. But you're not doing it accidentally. You know what type of audience that you're cultivating. But let's go.
When it comes to us, we're extremely reactionary. These are the criticisms that we need in order to get good. I'm not dogging the right, even though, you know, the Dems don't do much. Like that's kind of where me and the right agrees. Don't clip.
What are you doing yourself besides making videos, racist ass comments, and just being an asshole? What are you doing yourself?
Trip that. When it pertains to like how we do our messaging, how we do our activism, that is our problem. We're extremely reactionary. How many Ben Shapiro videos, how many Peterson videos are we gonna make? We're reacting to culture. We're not making culture. We haven't even gotten, that's the culture war argument. We haven't even gotten to economic policies, healthcare, all of these different things, human rights. We're just still on culture war issues. Like,
You're right. We are still on cultural issues, and most of the issues, most of the videos that you and your ilk makes are talking about how this white person hurt your feelings, not how they were being racist. No, you don't even want to talk about that shit. You want to talk about videos taken out of context, but you want to talk about how one time this woman says, "I like noodles," and she was being racist. That's the shit that you're talking about. At least live streamers actually talk about the issues when they happen. But you guys are too good for that shit. Remember your buddy FD said that y'all are like the generals sitting back in the towers, but the live streamers are the warriors in the field? Because you guys think you're too good for the shit. You think, oh, wait, no. I don't need to talk about Ben Shapiro. I don't need to talk about Jordan Peterson. We don't need to really talk about that because that's just culture war stuff. You are preaching to an audience that you already have converted. And then you play like you're making some big take when all you do is throw around racist fucking... your boy Turb, my comment section, I literally have, why is he speed running every word that you hear for white people on Twitter? The fact that you call the chalks are doing voodoo? How fucking dare you? You know what struck me about how some of these people claim about cultural appropriation? If you want to go back to voodoo or the gods that you actually see, some of them are African gods, yes, but some of them are Sumerian or Egyptian. Some of them have been co-opted from other cultures. Are you stealing at that point too? But no, these motherfuckers will never say that shit. But let's continue.
When we're dealing with people like Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, and we will talk them to death. That's the problem. We're always on the back foot. Exactly, Hero. We need to get in front of these things, and that's the reason why it's so important that, like, my last video that I did with NJB, with Not Just Bikes, basically talking about something as niche as traffic and how systemic racism is built into the infrastructure of past colonial countries like the Bahamas.
And see, this is the reason why I brought up that shark clip early in this segment. Because you want to function as, hey, listen to me. I'm that black creator. You want to, not because like you have a history of living in this situation. Just like here, I live in Chicago. We literally have a fucking expressway going through the south side. Places in the west side that have expressway going through them. And it has been known to fuck up our traffic, to affect all these different things. And in places where people have been redlined. But you don't want to do it because you're not doing it because you have a historical context. You're doing it because, well, I'm a black person. You better listen to a black person. I don't want you to listen to me, come to me because I'm black. I want you to listen to me, come to my content because I'm right. But your identity is tied up into what you had no choice in being, what you were born as. But let's go.
That is a niche topic. Like, I'm talking about these little islands, these little 700 islands. That's not a Ben Shapiro video. You're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that anywhere else in Breadtube. You're not gonna get that anywhere else across YouTube. Which is to say that, like, Cornbreadtube is a space. You know, people like me, people like FD Signifier, Andrewism, Hero the Kid is inside here, Julian Steve. All of these people are speaking to a particular experience. Turb, they are speaking to an experience that a lot of white leftists and a lot of white people on the left don't even know that they have an appetite for. That's so exciting. Let's think about that for a second. It's so exciting to know that there's a branch of content that's going to be coming out once we get the algorithmic support, which is, yet again, unfortunately, you're the algorithm.
So here's the thing. I get it. I get black creatives are being suppressed. And as I said before, I want more black people in the space of YouTube. There have been multiple times where I've actually just given people camera that I'm not using, mics that I'm not using, to say, hey, create your content, do this content, let your voice be heard, no matter if I believe your political views or not. I want your voice heard. The shit where I get into it with a lot of these other creators, I don't have a problem with them saying what they need to say. I have a problem with them being wrong, and I will critique that. That's why I'm not for canceling people unless they advocate violence. But that's a legal thing. But when you come down to it and just, it is a reason why motherfuckers don't like hearing shit that these people put out. Because they're openly saying racist shit. And their audience of black people who wants to use those racist terms because they figure, and here's well, when I use a racist term, it's not as bad as when a white person uses a racist term. All I hear is saying, I want to do it because they did it to me. All I hear is revenge, revenge, revenge. They did it to me, so I get to do it to them. That's not a good reason to say that shit. That is not a good reason to be a shit person to somebody else that may not have did it to you. But let's continue.
We get the algorithmic support, as in the people that are watching are actually clicking on videos.
Oh yeah, and another group who watches their content are literally self-hating white people. And I don't mean that as some kind of, no, it's that I'm sorry for being white. I don't want anybody in my community who is sorry for the way that they were born. I'm sorry, that seems a little weird for me. If I'm not going to be sorry for the way I was born, I don't want you to be sorry for the way you were born. But these motherfuckers surround themselves by people who are sorry for the way that they were born. I'm sorry. These are some of the same people that would have been okay with, Nancy Pelosi and the rest of the congressional Dems kneeling with Kente Coughlin. During the George Floyd protests, washing black people's feet for no reason. Or what did we do? That Channel 5 video where people were talking about where the guy was going around and was like, well, because I'm black, give me $5. Those are the target audience for these motherfuckers. And I hate it. Because what they're doing is they're trying to flex on something that they had no choice on. Instead of reaching out to people, they're sounding like fucking idiots. But let's go.
Videos that aren't Shapiro, that aren't Peterson, and clicking on stuff that is esoteric to their culture. Like, y'all are interested in learning about black culture, the black diaspora, not just the type that you want to hear about the black conservatives. Because I mean, FD will even say that that's a slam dunk because that people could click on that.
You know what? The thing about it is they can't fight what they say. They can't. They can only fight that, this person said some racist shit. They can't address some of the points, the reason why we'd be bad. They just said something racist. Something will be, instead of giving an alternative plan, these motherfuckers just say, they're racist, they're sexist, they're homophobic. That's it. It needs to be more. It needs to, hey, instead of thinking that Praxis is watching a video, no, Praxis is me inspiring you to do shit, to first at least get out and vote and then do other shit. But they don't want to face that. You know what they want to face? Well, we need to get in the algorithm so we can make the money. I don't care about getting the algorithm to make the money. And yes, I would love to make a fucking living off of this. But to the point where it's just like, I start shitting on people, a group of people, just so I can make other people feel good. Nah. I'm going to do my own thing.
The white folks love to hear about black conservatism. They love to hear that it's not just a white people problem. They love to see that type of thing. But when FD makes a video on Cop City, look how many views that have. Rather than something like the black conservative. This got 310K in 2 days.
So let's bring up another point. Where is it at? Let's bring up another point. Let me find it. I remember watching this person's video, and you guys will understand why in a moment. All right, so here, you guys remember this shit? I'm gonna play this clip.
That'd mean a lot of people learning about a lot of good stuff. He's got one video that's 18 minutes of him covering the Staten Island warehouse machine. What's hilarious about this, and the reason that I'm bringing this up, is because this is exactly where Xander Hall sits nowadays. Albeit slightly to the left of Destiny, he does argue in support of trans rights and Black Lives Matter. In a follow-up to this video in the much longer How I Fell Down the Alt-Right Pipeline and Escaped, he immediately alt-right views. He simply saw an example of right-wing views being torn to shreds in the form of Destiny debating a white supremacist. The major difference between this and other forms of de-radicalization is that it simply made him not a Nazi. My union video and activism content performs terribly. But
Wait. Let me just go back.
One of the most important things to happen over the last year for a lot of leftists is the wave of unionization that's happened across the US and the world. If Xander Hall was covering a lot of this, that'd mean a lot of people learning about a lot of good stuff. He's got one video that's 18 minutes of him covering the Staten Island warehouse unionization, but it's got woefully low views. Hell, I know the feels on that one. My union video and activism content performs terribly. But let's talk about his Joe Biden support. It's so interesting that in this video, quote,
when you look at it, it seems to be a problem on the left as a whole, that drama videos actually do worse than content videos that are talking about progressive policies. Example. Let's go ahead and do this. Here, watch this. I do a lot of fucking drama videos. Let's bring up my channel. Ooh, look. Go to videos. In here. Now, of course, I have woefully low video, but when I talk about the Manosphere videos, 70, Black Field Chat, 117. Talk about America sucks, 109. But when I talk about how we need to, address, the way corporates look, 11. And this is today. So let's see if we have any other videos where we're just talking about, I don't know, things that are not drama related. Here, the fake science videos, 24 versus one that came out the same day. Double that. It seems that a lot of people just like drama. That's the thing that happens. What is another one? Okay, the Britney was really good. England has changed after this is just going over historical thing. England changed after one mass shooting. Bernie Sanders pushes for big changes. But when we talk about other stuff, other drama content, or other confrontational content, it gets more views. But let's go.
Help stop Atlanta's Cop City. Actual praxis. How many views that get? In 2 months. 2 days? 310,000 views. 2 months. Help stop Atlanta's Cop City. 122K. And the reason for that is, it's the audience. The audience is interested in a particular thing. They're primed and conditioned. It's not your fault, but we are the children of the media, and the media is the children of us. We create what we want to see. So if
you know that, dumbass, if you know that, why are you complaining about it? You knew that before you brought that example up. I knew that before you brought the example up. Anybody can tell you that. Anybody on the left can tell you that that's how that content works.
If you want different content, if you don't want to be watching Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, all of these nuts like that, if you don't want to see that, then begin to click on things and incentivize things that are different. How long it take you to go and find my channel after FD feature me? How long it take you to find Allure Nadi's channel after I feature Align Me? Term, Lil Billiam. How long does it take your algorithm to actually see that? To actually feed you responses that are different from Drugan, Hasanabi. Hasanabi reacting to an FD video will be on your home feed, but FD's video will not be on your home feed.
We're really gonna do this. We're really gonna do this. I said I'd save it for later. Well, now it's later. Hassan has been on the internet for longer than you motherfuckers. Secondly, he has like 20 clip channels. If I don't get why you don't understand that. Literally, there are 20 clip channels, like, well, maybe 10 clip channels with Hassan on it. There are like 10 clip channels with fucking Destinies. At least 5 with Vash. Why don't you get that? That's why they're in the algorithm. It's just like Andrew Tate. There are clip channels after clip channels with Andrew Tate. That's why they're in the algorithm. It's not just one channel. Oh my God, they're fucking dumb. Let's continue.
Why? Why? Because Hasanabi is familiar to you. Not only because, like, literally he's bigger, but because Hasanabi ski colored. And then, you know, bigger.
Yes, we know the traditional Anglo-Saxon name of Hassan. You know, the person who always talk about being white, but when, you know, Adam something called him out for not really understanding European politics, especially Balkan European politics. I'm not white enough for you. I said, I must be a Turk, a Middle Eastern. Yes, that Hasanabi. Let's go.
Hassan, but like he's ski colored. So yeah, on a visceral level, you are able to click on someone that is more familiar to you because it brings comfort. Familiarity brings comfort.
See, I don't know about you, dog. I don't know about you. Personally, it doesn't matter what their skin color is. I actually watch Dixon White. And if you don't know who Dixon White is, trust me, you're going to understand who Dixon White is. My problem with so many of you guys, you fall under the same traps that you fall under the same traps that so many of these other people fall under, but you criticize them for. You try to stick with your own. Remember your boy FD that keeps saying a flying milk? I wonder what he means by that.
But when you click on Lil Billiam talking about the left has a whiteness problem, the reason why that ain't at 1 million views as it should be is because
because he's talking about how a part of the left. He's alienating a part of the left. That's why. And again, you're alienating a part of a group that you want to have outreach to. But that's not a problem, right? That's not a problem. Neither is this being a problem. Neither is this being a problem. The chalks are doing voodoo. Because it's okay. It's okay. Because, anti-black racism is so much worse than anti-white racism, and you should just put up with it because reasons. Yeah. And I wonder why he changed the title. I wonder why he changed the title. That's interesting that he actually changed it. But let's go.
The black boiled-head man in front of the thumbnail. That's the reason why FD took down his pictures in his thumbnail. Because he wasn't getting the clicks that his contemporaries were getting and doing far less work. Sorry I'm being prosaic and trite, but if you want to change, be the change you want to see. If you want your algorithmic to look differently, then...
It's ironic that he would actually say this. And I'm not gonna... If you want to be the change, be the change that you want to see. If you don't want people using racist terms, jargon, or derogatory language, then fucking stop doing it. Stop using it. God, I don't know how many times you have to tell these people, you doing the shit that other people are doing. Well, it's not the same because it doesn't have 400 years. But the way you talk, the way you motherfuckers talk, you would change that in a fucking minute to make sure that people understand your pain. I'm done. Fucking done. Because it's fucking stupid. But hey, like, share, and subscribe. I know these motherfuckers won't listen because they got a good racket going. They have a good fucking racket going. I, on the other hand, is trying to get 1,000 subscribers by October 1st. Help me out, subscribe, like, and all that other good shit. And we're gonna cut this video segment here.
If I gave myself the power